This is the story of how Lilly, caught in a cycle of overwhelming challenges, discovered a simple shift that transformed her path to success. The name of the story is Mountains to Molehills. Lilly stood at the foot of the towering wall, her eyes tracing the intricate patterns of the climbing holds that dotted its surface. The indoor rock climbing gym buzzed with activity, but all she could hear was the thudding of her own heartbeat. Today was the day she would conquer the advanced route, a challenge she had attempted and had failed multiple times. Ready to give it another shot? Her friend Max called out, snapping her back to reality. Absolutely, Lilly replied, masking her anxiety with a determined smile. As she strapped into her harness, flashes of her previous attempts played in her mind. The shaky limbs, the slips, and the abrupt falls. Each failure had only fueled her desire to overcome the obstacle, but it also deepened a cycle she couldn't escape. Taking on too much at once, getting overwhelmed, and failing. And then starting all over again with the same approach. Outside the gym, Lilly's life mirrored her climbing struggles. At work, she juggled multiple projects, volunteering for new tasks before finishing existing ones. Her apartment was cluttered with half-finished hobbies. A guitar with only a few chords mastered, canvases with sketches but no paint, cookbooks earmarked, but recipes remain untried. She was constantly in motion, yet felt she was going nowhere. One evening, after another unsuccessful climb, Lilly stumbled onto a bench in the locker room. An older woman with a kind face sat down beside her. "Tough day?" the woman asked. "You could say that," Lilly sighed. "I just can't seem to reach the top, no matter how hard I try." "Well, maybe you're trying to tackle the whole wall instead of focusing on one hold at a time," the woman suggested. Lilly frowned. "What do you mean?" "Well, sometimes big challenges can overwhelm us," she explained. "Breaking them into smaller, manageable pieces can make all the difference." Lilly pondered her words on the drive home. That night, surrounded by the unfinished projects that cluttered her living room, she had a moment of clarity. She saw the pattern, diving headfirst into goals, getting overwhelmed, failing, and then repeating the cycle without changing her initial approach. Now, determined to break free from this loop, Lilly decided to make a change. She picked up a notebook and wrote down all the things she wanted to accomplish, from climbing the advanced route to learning a full song on the guitar. Next to each goal, she broke them into even smaller, actionable steps. For climbing, she listed 1. Master basic techniques on easier routes. 2. Build upper body strength with targeted exercise. 3. Study the advanced route from the ground and plan each move. 4. Practice challenging sections individually. Applying the same method to her other interest, she felt a newfound sense of control in her life. The next day at the gym, Lilly approached the climbing wall with a different mindset. Instead of attempting the entire advanced route, she focused on the first section. Max noticed her change in strategy. "Starting small today?" he asked. "Yep, figured I'd try a new approach," she replied confidently. By concentrating on just the initial moves, she managed to navigate them with precision. Each small victory built her confidence, and over the next few weeks, she progressively tackled each section of the wall, celebrating the milestones along the way. At home, she dedicated short, consistent periods to practicing guitar chords, eventually stringing them together into a song. Her sketches transformed into completed paintings as she worked on them piece by piece. Even her cooking skills improved as she tried one new recipe each week. One Saturday morning, Lilly stood at the foot of the climbing wall, looking up at the route that once seemed insurmountable. Taking a deep breath, she began her ascent. Move by move, she applied everything she'd practiced. The holds she'd struggled with before were now familiar friends guiding her upward. As she reached for the final hold, a surge of exhilaration rushed through her. Pulling herself over the top, she looked down to see Max cheering wildly below. "You did it!" he shouted. Relief and pride washed over her. "I finally did," she whispered to herself, a smile spreading across her face. Back on the ground, Max clapped her on the back. "What changed?" he asked. "Well, I stopped trying to conquer it all at once," Lilly explained. "I broke it down, focused on one small step at a time." "Seems like a good strategy for life, huh?" he remarked. "Absolutely," she agreed. Now, Lilly's journey illustrates the power of breaking down big challenges into smaller, more manageable ones. By recognizing the cycle of overwhelming herself and changing her approach, she was able to achieve her goals more effectively. Now, her story reminds us that tackling things one piece at a time can lead to significant, very significant accomplishments over time. And this prevents burnout and fosters sustained progress.